What's going on, guys? Earth Twister here, and we are coming at you with another Jubilee video against Klaw. We have been working through all four of her aspects just to see what she might be best in and how flexible of a character she can actually be. And today we're coming with the final video in leadership, and I'm actually really looking forward to this game. I have built a 50 card ally swarm deck for her with a trigger card of mass attack. And that's going to be the main card that we really want to use in conjunction with her glasses to try and deal mass amounts of damage with tons of allies on the field in order to make sure we can end Klaw quickly. Now, I've already gone ahead and done a little bit of setup, did a little bit of a player card shuffle, player deck shuffle right there. Uh, put out Defense Network per the setup instructions here on Underground Distribution, the main scheme. And the next thing to do is shuffle up the encounter deck and then advance to stage 1B. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And I have already shuffled a little bit, but doing a little bit more won't hurt. All right, advance to stage 1B. And it says discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. And then it put that into play engage for the first player. So we get... Oh, that's... There we go. Weapons Runner. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Usually, sometimes the minion that you get out first at this point can make or break the scenario. So, weapons runner usually not too bad to get through. There's no toughness to deal with. There's not a high hit point value. He's just a 2 hit point guy that can scheme for 1 and attack for 1. And of course, we do not have any threat that comes in on this scheme, and nothing special about Claw 1. Again, we are playing in standard to try and standardize everything that we're doing here for Jubilee. So let's go ahead and draw up our hand. We get a mass attack, Cyclops, Uncanny X-Men, Blinding Flash, X-Gene, and Strength. I know for sure I want to keep X-Gene, Strength, and Uncanny X-Men. I think we're going to go ahead and mulligan these 3 cards. We get a Triage, a Firecracker, and a Multi-Talented. Okay, not too bad. Let's go ahead and let's use a start. So let's get our action to search our deck for our side scheme, shopping spree, and put it into play. If nothing else, this helps thin the deck and helps us get those allies and things that we want out. I do have a lot of upgrades in here as well to help those allies get buffed so that mass attack is really strong. So let's go ahead and see how well this works. All right. So in our hand, we have Uncanny X-Men, X-Gene, Multi-Talented, and Firecracker. So let's go ahead and see how this plays out. If I use, let's say, Multi-Talented to play X-Gene, then I could use an Uncanny X-Men and a Firecracker to play, or a Strength and a Firecracker to play an Uncanny X-Men. Then I could exhaust Jubilee to play Triage. The only thing is the Triage heals, and that wouldn't be something I need. Okay, this does come into play with 2 threat. So let's put that there, and I can't thwart it. I have to use my alter ego action to pay for it, which would be to exhaust. Which I guess we'll go ahead and do that. Remove a threat here. I can probably survive a round without an ally. So let's first use Firecracker then to pay for X-Gene. Get X-Gene in. X-Gene will help pay for identity-specific events. And then we'll use a Triage and Strength to pay for Uncanny X-Men. And Uncanny X-Men says each of my X-Men allies gets +1 hit point. And if each of my characters has the X-Men trait, each of my X-Men allies cost 1 fewer resources to play. It's actually a really, really good card to get down real early. All right. Multi-Talented's in our hand. We'll keep that. Let's... We stay down here? Yeah, let's go ahead and stay down. I don't know if that's going to be a bad move or not, so we'll stay down. We'll draw up to our hand size of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a pretty good hand. All right. Threat goes up by 1. Klaw schemes for 2 plus a boost. No damage, so just 2, bringing it up to 3. And then Weapons Runner schemes for 1, bringing it up to 4. Here's our encounter card. Klaw heals 4 damage. If no damage was healed this way, this card gains Surge. So he does Surge, and I don't have my hit point dials out. He is at 12 hit points. Put that there. And I am at 9. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so this surges, which means we get another encounter card. And it's a weapons runner who surges into the Masters of Evil. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a Masters of Evil minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engaged with the first player. Okay, so it comes in with 3 threat and an acceleration token, which is not good. Oh, sweet. So we just get Radioactive Man. Not a bad deal, I suppose. We should just have 3 minions now. All right. So what I'm thinking, so Phoenix is going to cost 2. So X-Jet, I might have to forego the Endurance. Let's see, if I have Wolverine and Energy pay for X-Jet, then I can use X-Jet and Multi-Talented to pay for Phoenix. Or I could use X-Jet and Endurance to pay for Phoenix, leaving Multi-Talented in my hand still. Is having an ally out there really going to make a big difference? She can thwart for 2. She'll have 4 hit points. Or I could get Wolverine out there and know for a fact that I could defeat some of these minions. Otherwise, I'm getting a ton of damage on me. Okay. I think let's go ahead and do this to get Shopping Spree. Oh, that goes into my discard pile. Which allows me to search my deck and discard pile for an item and put it into play. So let's do Jubilee's coat. Although her sunglasses would be helpful too. But let's leave those in there. We'll shuffle up. So now Jubilee is able to thwart for 2. That'll be helpful. If I flip up, as long as we don't get an advance, we don't pop that scheme. Okay, so what do I do here? Let's go ahead and use energy and endurance as 3 resources to pay for the X-Jet. Then we'll flip up. We have to get rid of this scheme. If we don't get rid of this scheme, the scheme pops. So is it better then to try and take out a minion? Probably. Because the scheme's going to pop anyways. So if we throw Wolverine in and we flip down, he gets healed. Let's do this. So we've got X-Jet generates a resource. Uncanny X-Men decreases the cost of my X-Men to play. We'll use Phoenix and Multi-Talented then as 2 other resources to pay for Wolverine. Wolverine will come in and just deal 3 damage to a weapons runner. To defeat him, Wolverine does take 2 consequential damage. But at least now I can hopefully withstand some of what's going on. All right, let's ready up. Draw our hand size of 5. Okay, we got some promise here. Threat goes up by 2, taking it from 4 to 6. It does pop. Bringing in Secret Rendezvous. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until minion is discarded. Put that minion into play. Engage with the first player. Comes in with 0 threat. So then we get Tiger Shark. Okay. Now, Klaw attacks. I'm going to defend for 2. He attacks for 0 plus 2 boost. He does 4. So I take 2 damage. Weapons Runner attacks for 1. Radioactive Man attacks Wolverine for 1. Tiger Shark attacks me for 3. And he gets a tough. Alright, that's not ideal. So we can use X-Gene and X-Jet to pay for Flash of Light to confuse Klaw and flip down. Okay. Yeah, we'll do X-Gene and X-Jet to play 2 different resources for Flash of Light. Flash of Light says remove 3 threat from a scheme. If I paid for the card using 2 different resource types, confuse an enemy. So we use 2 different resource types. We're stating 1 to be mental, 1 to be physical. We'll go ahead and defeat Defense Network. And we'll confuse Klaw. Removes Defense Network from play. We still have Masters of Evil out there. It's not great. We use 2 different resources so we can trigger Jubilee's Coat to remove 2 threat from here, bringing that down to 1. So what I can do is Uncanny X-Men would allow for me to use Moira McTaggart and Mass Attack to pay for Gambit. When Gambit comes in, it says after Gambit enters play, look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck and tuck 1 under him so that only the boost field is visible. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. So this would be the boost card. Both of these would be boost cards. So he'd attack for 4. He's going to attack for 4 either way. I can either... Well, two of these would become boost cards. Let's go ahead and take Grounded. So I don't have to see that. Then we put both of the Masters of Mutant Mayhem, or whatever that is, under there. That leaves Gambit with an attack of 2 and a thwart of 2. Let's go ahead and use him to to attack Weapons Runner for 2, so that defeats him. We have Radioactive Man and Tiger Shark left. Gambit takes a consequential. Okay. I'm going to flip down. And when I flip down, Wolverine has a response. After I change to Alter Ego form, heal 3 damage from Wolverine. So he gets to heal completely. Alright. We just still have Danger Room Training in our hand. Let's go ahead and ready up. And draw up to our hand size of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I do like to see Jubilee sunglasses there. That's good. Alright, so threat goes up by 2. Klaw was scheme, but he's confused. I messed up. I didn't think about that. Then we get the Masters of Mutants of Mayhem, or Masters of Mayhem. Each Master of Evil minion attacks the hero it is engaged with. If no attacks are made this way, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Masters of Evil minion and put it into play engaged with you. Then shuffle the encounter deck. So I'm not in hero form. I am in Alter Ego. So I don't get attacked, which means then we search the encounter deck and discard pile for Masters of Evil minion and put it into play. So comes over here. Let's see if there's any mutants, Masters of Evil. Words are really hard. I don't see any there. So we search here and we get Whirlwind, I think. Is either Whirlwind or Melter. I think Whirlwind is going to be a little bit better here. Realize there's a glare here, so that's kind of rough. Let me see if I can move some of these things over. have a little bit more space so we can reduce the glare on the cards. Okay, we got Gambit and Wolverine here. All right. There we go. Okay. This is good. Got a good hand. I think the first thing I'll do is well, let's say Plasmoid Energy. I'm going to exhaust to heal for 3, bringing me up to 6. Then I will flip up. Now I can use X Gene and X Jet to play Plasmoid Energy. Or, sorry, Flash of Light. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. If I paid for this using 2 different resource types, confuse an enemy. So we'll go ahead and remove 3 threat from Secret Rendezvous, which really just 2 threat. And I get to confuse an enemy, so let's go ahead and confuse Klaw again. Then do this. Wolverine can attack for 4. Gambit can attack for 2. Forgot to trigger Jubilee's coat. Since I used 2, I can defeat the Masters of Evil side scheme also. That's good. Let's get that side scheme out of the way. Do I get the sun? So I can hold the sunglasses. Oh, I could do Grand Finale. I do Grand Finale. I use a Danger Room training and a Plasmoid Energy for Grand Finale. That counts as 3 different resource types. I think, yeah, this may be what I need to do to clear the board. So we'll hold on to the sunglasses and a Danger Room training. Wolverine is going to attack Tiger Shark for 3. He does have piercing, so the toughness falls off. Tiger Shark has 3 damage. Then a Danger Room training and a Plasmoid Energy, being 3 different resource types, is going to pay for Grand Finale. So the first thing is I get to deal 2 damage to an enemy. So we'll go with Whirlwind. So we deal 2 damage to Whirlwind. Then for each different resource type I used to pay for this card, choose an enemy and deal 2 damage to it. So I'm going to choose Tiger Shark to deal 2 damage to, bringing him to 4 out of 5. Okay. Then we'll finish off Whirlwind, so I can do 4 damage to him. I was able to do 3 different types of damage there. So that's Whirlwind out. And then Gambit will go ahead and attack for 2, taking a consequential on Tiger Shark there, taking him from 5 to 7 and defeating him. Leaving us with just Radioactive Man and Klaw. Klaw is confused, and we have Jubilee sunglasses and a Danger Room training in our hand. So not too bad. We can clear the board pretty well. We may want to get that Danger Room training here on Wolverine pretty soon. Let's go ahead and drop to our hand size of 5, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty good. Threat only goes up by 1 this time. Claw attacks. I'll defend this time for 2. He deals 1 damage because there's 3 boost icons. So I take 1 from him. Radioactive Man attacks. Wolverine will take the damage, going down to 3. It does exhaust him. I will use Genius to pay for Jubilee sunglasses. X Jet will pay for the Danger Room training on Wolverine. We also would want one on Gambit there, wouldn't we? Wolverine gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and 1 hit point. He does have 2 hit points now, so 6 hit points. He's half of his health. Do I really want to? Would I rather put this on Gambit? I think so for now. Because Wolverine's at 5, he's exhausted. So let's put this on Gambit. Gambit gets +1, +1, +1. He has 2 more activations at this point. So he becomes a 3/3. And X-Gene cannot pay for mass attack. Gambit will attack for 3 on Radioactive Man. Okay. Then Jubilee is going to flip down here. That heals Wolverine for 3. And then I'm going to ready and draw up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Now I think we got some good cards in our hand that could really help. Threat goes up by 1. Klaw would scheme, but he's confused. Radioactive Man schemes for 1. Okay, then we get an encounter card. Armored Guard. Comes in with Tough and Guard. Not bad, because Wolverine can take him out in 1 hit. Okay. Now is the player phase. Let's see what we can do. I think here I'm going to go ahead and flip up. Did I give? I did not give a consequential to Gambit. So Gambit does have 3 damage on him. 3, but he has 4 and 5. Let's see. Multi-talented may actually be really good here. So I'm going to use X-Jet and a Plasmoid Energy to pay for multi-talented. So X-Jet, we're declaring that to be a physical resource. Physical resource allows us to deal 2 damage to an enemy. We're going to choose Radioactive Man. Puts him at 5, 7. But then I get to use Jubilee Sunglasses. I'm using 3 different resources to pay for multi-talented. So I get to do 3 more damage to an enemy. He's at 5. I do have a way to attack him for 2 otherwise. So 3 damage is going to go to Klaw, taking him from 12 down to 9. Then I get to remove 2 threat from a scheme. And I can trigger... Ooh, actually I couldn't do that to Klaw. Forgot he has guard. So we're going to go ahead and finish him off here with Jubilee Sunglasses. We lose a damage, but that's okay. But we do get to remove 2 threat here, and the coat allows me to remove another threat. And then the lightning energy allows me to heal for 2. So it takes me from 5 up to 7. All right, so Wolverine is going to attack the Armored Guard for 3, defeating him because he has piercing. It removes the toughness. He takes 2 consequential damage. Then, what do we want here? Mass attack as 1 resource. We'll pay for Pixie. After I play Pixie from my hand, add an X-Men ally from my discard pile to my hand. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's see, what X-Men allies do we have? We got Phoenix. We've got Triage, and we have Cyclops. Let's grab Cyclops. Realizing Pixie has 3 hit points. But do I want to keep her in play? Because I don't have a way... Don't have a way to add another ally out there without removing her. We'll have Pixie. She'll attack Claw for 2. And even though she's not defeated, so she'll take 2 consequential. She could take 3 because of words. Because of Uncanny X-Men. But I'm gonna go ahead and use Plasmoid Energy to pay for Cyclops. Cyclops is gonna come in, replacing Pixie because I can only have 3 allies still. And Cyclops is gonna choose Claw for each of my characters to do an extra damage to. Jubilee is going to exhaust 1 to pay for Inspired on Cyclops. So Cyclops and Gambit are now 3/3s. So Cyclops is going to attack Claw for 6 plus 1 of the extra damage that he gets from his response, so 4, taking him from 10 down to 6. Then Gambit is going to attack for 2, 3, and then 4 from Cyclops' response, taking him from 6 down to 2. Both of them take a consequential damage. Gambit is not yet defeated because he has Danger Room training to give him an extra hit point and Uncanny X-Men here. All right. Things are looking a little better. So let's go ahead and ready up. Drop our hand size of 5. Okay. Ton of allies there. I guess we're going to let Gambit go away or something. I don't know. We'll see. Threat goes up by 1. Claw attacks. I think we'll have Gambit defend this one. So Claw attacks for 0 plus 2 boost. The boost is to exhaust each ally I control, so Wolverine and Cyclops get exhausted. Gambit was already in the midst of defending, so he takes 2 damage. That defeats him. Grounded goes to the discard pile. Okay, and then we get an encounter card. Caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support I control if no cards are discarded this way. Man, I guess X-Gene is the least helpful right now. So we'll get rid of X-Gene. It's really helpful, but just not working as well for what I need compared to the rest of them. Okay. All right. So White Queen's not worth getting out right now because there's no status cards. Not enough threat for Beak to worry about. Colossus would be good. So would Professor X. Professor X would not be able to remain out there. Um, Colossus. Colossus would cost 2. Easily pay for that. Colossus would cost 2. So X-Jet and Jubilee will exhaust to play Colossus. Colossus comes in and gets a tough. Then we use Beak to play Danger Room Training on Wolverine. I guess that's fine. We'll keep White Queen and Professor X in our hand. Colossus. Colossus is just going to chill for right now. We're going to ready everybody up. We're going to draw back up to our hand size of 5. We get Utopia, Inspired, and Multi-Talented. Now we're getting some build cards. Good. Threat goes up by 1. Claw attacks. Colossus will defend. 0 plus 2 boost. He attacks for 2. Colossus is tough, soaks it up. Get an encounter card. Armored Guard. He comes in with a tough and guard. And that is the end of the villain phase. Perfect. So here, Jubilee and X-Jet are going to exhaust for Utopia. Utopia allows me to have an extra ally. Uncanny X-Men allows me to play an X-Men for cheaper. So we're going to use White Queen and Multi-Talented to pay for Professor X. When Professor X enters play, I can choose to ready an X-Men or confuse the villain or stun a minion. I'm going to go ahead and choose to confuse the villain. Wolverine is going to attack Armored Guard for 4. Defeats him. Wolverine gets 2 consequential damage. He is not defeated, however, because of Uncanny X-Men and Danger Room training. Just thinking before I finish this turn. Professor X is going to thwart the scheme. He takes a consequential. And then Cyclops is going to attack for 2, 3 onto Klaw, defeating him and switching him to his second phase. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Immortal Claw and reveal it. Shuffle the encounter deck. Right. Pretty sure Immortal Claw has already been seen. There it is. Okay, it comes in with 3 threat and an acceleration token. I think we can handle that. When it does, he gets plus 10 hit points. So we go up to 28. Inspired is the last card that I have. Oh, Claw is still confused. So what I was going to do, he gets a consequential. And then I'm not ready to ready. Let's go ahead and flip down. And then when we do that, we'll go ahead and ready. I could have readied an X-Men because of Utopia. I forgot about that. That's okay. It's too late now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, threat goes up by 2. Claw would scheme, but he's confused. We get an encounter card. Claw's Vengeance. Discard a card at random from my hand. All right. Do this one. It's an Inspired. And now it is my turn. I'm going to go ahead and heal. And then flip up. Is it worth building still? Professor X does leave play. When I'd flipped down, Wolverine would have healed for 3. No, I think honestly, what I want to do, X-Jet and Triskelion as another resource are going to pay for Flash of Light. I get to remove 3 threat from a scheme. If I paid for this with 2 different resource types, I get to confuse an enemy. Claw is confused. Jubilee's coat triggers, removing 2 threat from the main scheme. Let's see here. I don't have anything else. So I think Mortal Claw is defeated. He loses 10 hit points, goes down to 18. Could deal 4 damage to him. 5, 8, 11. We could get really close to defeating him. If I had an extra resource, we probably wouldn't make that much of a difference. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to use both Team Training and Inspired to play Firecracker. That's 2 physical resources, so I don't get to stun him. But it deals 4 damage to an enemy, and if I paid for this with 2 different resources, he would be stunned, but I didn't. So that takes him down to 14. Sunglasses deals an extra damage to him because I only paid with physical resources. Colossus is going to attack for 3, taking him from 13 down to 10. Cyclops is going to attack for 3, and that's going to remove Cyclops from play. And then Wolverine will attack for 4, taking him from 7 down to 3. He takes 2 consequential. And that is my turn. We will draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's hope we get a mass attack. Otherwise, we built this deck around that card and didn't ever use it. Just didn't have the right amount of allies out at the time when I could have. So I got 4 cards. Let's draw our 5th. It's White Queen. All right. Threat goes up by 1. I'm making a mess of my board here. Claw attacks for 1 plus 2 boost. I forgot he takes 2 consequential when he attacks. Colossus. Jubilee will defend, so 1 plus 2 boost. He gets another boost card. He does get an acceleration token here. Deals 1 damage. I defended for 2, so I take none. We get a permanent acceleration token. So yeah, the threats went up. He attacked for 1 plus a boost, so he would have dealt 2. I took no damage. And now he gets an encounter card, which is Tiger Shark. All right. Question is, do I play another ally? Or do I just end the game? Or does it take an ally to end the game? I mean, he takes 6 damage, so I just need 2 different resources to pay for Firecracker to defeat him. And then he just need, yeah. So, Colossus is going to thwart the threat off the scheme. Jubilee is going to take Danger Room Training and Angel, 2 different resource types to pay for Firecracker. Deal 4 damage to an enemy and stun it. Tiger Shark takes 4 damage and is stunned. Then Jubilee's Sunglasses triggers to deal 2 more damage to Tiger Shark, defeating Tiger Shark. Wolverine will attack Klaw for 4, taking him from 3 down to 0. I think this deck really shows you more the power of allies and a lot of the X-Men cards rather than Jubilee herself. So I may need to try and work in a deck that will help us get more allies down, but uses the cards like Mass Attack that will deal super amounts of damage, triggering off of Jubilee's Sunglasses here. But just seeing how Jubilee works, flipping her down to Alter Ego, being able to confuse and stun is a big thing. And I really enjoy playing Jubilee no matter what aspect it's in. I hope you guys have enjoyed this journey through the different aspects with Jubilee with me. I hope to see y'all in later videos with different heroes. I'm not sure who I want to play next. I do eventually want to go through all of the heroes and all of the villains. And I almost have all of them myself, so I should be able to do that soon. Um, yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed playing this game, this deck, against Klaw. I'm anxious to play some other villains and some other scenarios here soon as well, just to get some things rolling. But stay tuned. I'm going to be doing an analysis on Jubilee to see what aspect I thought she was best in, what worked well for her, what didn't work well, and then I might even add a few uh, deck tricks that I think would be great for her. Excuse me. I may even add a few deck tricks that I think would be great for her. So we'll just see how it all pans out. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.